Well, hello, hello, hello. It's been a hot minute since I've been on here. It seems like about every time I get started doing my lives again, something happens, something comes up, and everything just goes to pot. So I decided I was going to put it on my calendar and I was going to do it. So here I am on this beautiful Tuesday, Valentine's Day. Mwah! Happy Valentine's, happy Galentine's, whatever to all of you. So let me see if I can see any comments or anything like that. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, so as you probably know by now, the new mini catalog has come out. And if you don't already have one, I would love to get one to you. If you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, it is just full of really, really pretty things. The paper, the stamp sets, it's all just really cool. And we are in the middle of celebration until February 28th. And what that means is that if you purchase $50 worth out of either catalog, then you get to choose an entry one level, and that's like this stamp set with the owls. It's just so adorable. There's tons of paper, and we're actually going to be using paper today. This paper right here, I'll just show you in a minute. I got it for free because I spent $50 worth. I needed some items, I purchased them. I was able to get that paper for free. So that's what we're going to make our projects with today. There's also other paper, other stamp sets, lots of stamp sets, lots of paper actually. And then I got this for free when I went to convention. And anybody who purchases $50 worth can actually choose this one for free as well. We used this at my last card class, and I'm going to use the sentiment from it today. So let's go ahead and let's get started. I'm going to aim us down. Excuse me. I'm going to introduce something new to you, and that is I'm going to do my online card classes a little bit different. So if you purchase $35 using this particular host code, then hang on, there we go. If you purchase $35 using this particular host code, then you will receive two each of the three cards that I'm going to be making today. And if you purchase $50, which that equals basic math, 6 cards. You'll receive what you need to make 6 cards. But if you purchase $50, then you'll not only receive the 6 cards, but you'll also receive a package of embellishments. And I'm leaning towards these beautiful brushed brass butterflies. I've used those a lot with these cards, and I think that would just be really fun to include with a $50 purchase. So I'm going to put that off to the side. I don't know if you can still see it or not. Maybe I'll put it right there. I'm going to bring in, this is the paper from, I think it's called Dainty Petals or something like that, and I have used it a lot. Dainty Flowers, designer series paper. There's 12 designs because you get 12 designs, and you get 2 of each. So basically you get the front, and then there's a back design, and the back designs of these are just as pretty as the fronts. And so you get 2 each of it. You get 2 of these, you get 2 of these, and then there's some, see how pretty that is on the back. You have some that are other like designs like these. It's all flowers. Here's some that are just greenery. Here's some that is greenery with the purple on the back. Here's some that has like a fresh freesia, and it's just so pretty. These papers are. So I'm going to put all these to the side, but I'm going to show you what we're going to do. I'm going to bring in my trimmer right here. And as you can see, these cards would make gorgeous cards. So, and then these do as well. And I'm going to use one of each of those today. And then I'm also going to, now how I trimmed it was, I didn't want that pretty little thing, whatever that freesia, I'm not sure. I didn't want that cut off. So I made sure that with my, what do you call this? The thing that rests down on it, I made sure that it would not cut that off or cut this out. So I'm just going to take my scoring blade. I cleaned my thing earlier, and so it kind of was not in the right place. Okay, so then we're just going to do it like this, and we're going to make sure that none of those things get cut off. And that's how we're going to do that, okay? And then we'll just cut this off at 6 inches for now. We're going to do 3 cards today. And then I'm going to cut off one of these at 4 inches. I'm actually going to end up cutting this down. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I want to cut this down so that it is at 3 3/4. I think it is. No. I'm going to cut it down so it's 3 1/2 because I want more of it to show, more of my back to show. Whenever I want to make it even, so it was at 4 inches. I want it to be at 3 1/2. So I put it at 3 3/4, and then I'm just going to turn it around over here and then bring it over to 3 1/2. And that should, let me see. Basically, what I do is I take it off each side until I have it even, okay? I don't want to cut off too much, so I just take it off until I have it even, and it's got about the same on each side. So I'm going to trim off some more on the top, and then I'm going to trim off some more. I'm taking this down to 4 3/4, okay? So I'm going to just put these other ones out of the way, and I'm going to bring in this other piece. I'm just going to get all my cutting done now so that I don't have to bring my sporting blade back out. Okay, so then I'm going to do this one at 3 3/4, and I will cut it at, I'm going to go ahead and cut it at 6 inches here. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want this to be at I want it to be at 5 inches. But I don't want it to be super heavy over here on the lighter part. I don't want it to be wooded or greenery or whatever. So I'm just going to gauge it. I've got it at 5 right now. Let's cut it at 5 1/4 and see. I just kind of play with it until I get it right about where I want it to be. Okay, that's at, ooh, I cut it too short. I'm going to do another one, sorry. I'm going to cut that off. There really is a method to my madness, even though it doesn't seem like it. Cut that off at 5 1/4, and then I'll come cut some of this off at the bottom, and then it'll be right at 5, and it'll be perfect. So is this one at 3 3/4? It is. So now I'm good. All right. So I'm going to get this paper out of my way. And there are so many cards you can make with this set. Okay, and I get that trimmer out of my way. Hey, Carol. Long time no see. It's been a while. All right, I'm going to show you what I did before. This is one, I had to make a bunch of thank you cards for my last class. And this is one of them that I made. So I want to do it a little bit differently this time. I want a little bit different colors. So I had some of these that were already embossed, and I want to use them. I always make more for my card classes than I have scheduled for people to come. And so that's what I did. When I have extra of these left, then I just use them. I put them off to the side and I just use them later. I think this is called the gingham embossing folder. And this color is Fresh Freesia, and it is so pretty. Okay, we're going to put it on here like this. I always check to make sure I have my corners at just the right place. And then I'm going to cut this down. I'm going to cut this to be 5, let me get my trimmer again, sorry. I'm going to cut this down to be 5 1/4. So I'm just going to trim off the bottom part here. And then I'm going to take a piece of this. This is the Orchid Oasis. I'm just going to cut it in half. There's no need to waste extra paper, and I had a piece that was this size, so I thought I would just show you how I make that work. So then I'm just going to put glue on the corner right here. Come on. if your glue sits for a while, that glue gets down in there and then it kind of gets stuck, and that is what is happening. So, I hope you guys are having as good of a day as I am. It's beautiful here. I made myself a really nice breakfast, and I put it on my my pretty dishes that have red trim, and I got a red goblet out and put my orange juice in it, and I just pampered myself this morning. So I can see now that that is not 5 1/4, it's more like 5 1/2. So I will trim that off, and that's not going to be a problem. So if you are limited on your paper and you see that you don't have a lot left, you can cut it in two and you can make it look like it is the full back of it. So now all you're going to do is just use your DSP as your guideline and then just trim that off. Just like that. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this twine, and let me close that. Okay, I'm going to take a glue dot because I use glue dots a lot, and I rhymed. So I'm just going to stick it on there, and then I'm going to take my twine. I'm just going to wrap it around it, and I'll secure it using that glue dot. I'm going to leave a tail though so that I can make a bow with it, and then I'm just going to wrap it around like that. Trim some off, press it down, and that it's almost like you have an extra finger whenever you use a glue dot like that, because it just holds it in place. Now I'm going to press it again because I want that to stay stuck in there. So now I don't need a finger to hold it. I always am not crazy about doing bows on camera, but I did it. Yay. Oh, and my finger stuck to it. Here we go. There we go. I'm just going to trim the little tails off. Now my friend Patty Dolan, PS Paper Crafts, I watched her the other day, and she was saying she was using this, and she was saying she needed to get her beeswax out too. I think it was beeswax. I think that's what she said. I'm not sure. It was something, but she basically was going to put it on the tails of these, and then it would allow them to straighten out. I'm gonna have to ask her about that when I talk to her on Friday. Okay, so now I'm gonna put dimensionals on the back of that, and I'm just gonna pop that up. Okay. I love these colors together, and it was such a surprise because I mean, it just seems like these colors should be the colors that you use because there's so much of the yellow and the green. But I made one of these. I just started playing around with it, and I loved the colors. It was so pretty. So I'm like, oh yeah, I can do that. All right, let me get me some white paper. And I do need some of that Orchid Oasis. Let's see if I have a piece over here. I thought that I had given myself everything that I needed, but it looks like I didn't. So I'm going to grab a piece. Actually, I know what I was going to do. This is what I was going to use. Not the Orchid Oasis, but crumb cake. So now I'm just going to stamp a sentiment. I'm always needing thank you cards and birthday cards. But this one is going to be a sending happy thoughts cards. And I love this punch. I made 20 thank you cards the other day for my class members. And I did it all using this punch, and it makes it so fast and easy. Okay, I'm going to stick it right there. I'm going to close this and get it out of the way. All right, and glue this onto my piece of crumb cake, which is here. I tried it whenever I made it before. I tried it using the Orchid Oasis behind it, and it just didn't pop the way I wanted it to. So I thought, well, I will just make it the same color as the background of the card or the card base. Now what I'm doing here is this is popped up, so I don't want it to be popped up on top of popped up, so I just put one off to the right side and a little glue there. And you can see then how easy it was to make a really pretty card. Okay, so I'm just going to add some of the pretty butterflies. This card just looks like it needs butterflies. And look how pretty. And it's a bit different than this one, right? I mean, it looks a good bit different because you've got the embossed background and you go with completely different colors, and changing the ribbon up, it just makes it different. Carol, I do too. The DSP that we get from Stampin' Up! Is just amazing. It's so good. Okay, so we've got this one that we've made. Now let's make one using this one, I think. Although I think I cut it more than I wanted to cut it. I think it'll be all right though. Okay, so we'll go ahead. We're just going to put, this is supposed to be 3.5 by 4 3/4. I don't remember if that's exactly what I did or not, but it's close enough. Just going to place this on here like this. Again, if you weren't here at the beginning, if you place a $35 order with me using that host code, then you will get 2 each of the 3 cards that I'm making today. You'll get the supplies that you need to make those cards. If you place a $50 order, you'll get these and a package of the butterfly embellishments, all for me. Okay. This paper makes card making so easy, so easy. All right, so now I'm going to bring out my little thing again and get out my, I should have punched out, I'll do that with this. I'm going to go ahead and punch out 2 of these because I'm going to use them. Hopefully you won't see that. There we go. Okay, so then I will bring in some white and I'm going to stamp. Hang on a minute. I'll just change the sentiment. I forgot to bring my chamois over here. You can tell it's been a while since I've done one of these. So I'm just going to take thank you. Been a while since I've done a live. Our lives last year, boy, it was something else. My husband deployed. I don't like that, so I'm going to do it again. My husband deployed for over half the year, and he got back from deployment, and we found out, after doing all the obligatory travels that we needed to do to see family and stuff, we get home and find out that my mother-in-law has glioblastoma, brain cancer. Which she had that 11 years before, and she survived it and had done really well. And right after that, Hurricane Ian came along and flooded our house in Florida and made a right mess of all of that. And so we get back from doing all that. We go up to St. Louis in October, my husband does, and ends up having to put mother-in-law in hospice care. We managed to get up there. That's the middle to the end of October. We managed to get there for Thanksgiving, and she passed a week later. And so our lives have been a bit of a mess. And I mean, it's like everything that could go wrong last year did. Cars broke, refrigerators broke, you name it. It was quite a year. So, anyway, I am just finally feeling like I'm starting to get back on track with my business and feeling like I have the bandwidth to be able to do some of the things I had to just kind of push pause on for a while. And I always get so nervous after I haven't done these in a while and then I come back and do them again, I get so nervous. I'm just like, ugh. But it's fun. I enjoy it. And the more I do it, the more comfortable I'll be. I'm going to aim at doing these on Tuesdays, every Tuesdays at 1. And I'm hoping that every Tuesday I'll have a different kind of offering for you, where you can do different kinds of projects with me. Who knows? I may do the mystery thing sometime. I don't know. Right now I'm just showing you another way to use this to make a super fast and super easy card. And I'm just going to use, I think I'm going to use these again, because they're just too pretty not to, right? On some of my cards, I end up using some of the iridescent gems. And I mean, they're just all beautiful. Okay, so see how easy it made that card. I think I would try to do it a little more even the next go round, but I like how that turned out. Super, super easy. All right, for my last card, this is an easy one as well. And I'm using crushed curry. When we had Bumblebee, it was so close to crushed curry. I had trouble. I really had to put it next to each other. And even then, if I just picked one up, I would forget which one it was. So hopefully this will cover it. It does not, but that's okay. I have another piece right here. So I'm just going to place this. Yeah, this is 3 3/4 by 5. And my Mossy Meadow is 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, there we go. And then I'm just going to glue this onto this crushed curry. Okay. Super, super easy. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, I already have this. I'm going to put this on. And you know what? You could do your card like that, and that would be fine. Just add some embellishments, and that would be fine. But I decided I wanted to do something a little bit different. So I think because of the way, I think I'm going to do it on this corner instead of the way I did my other one. And then I'm going to take my punch. I can't remember the name of this punch, but I really like it. It reminds me of the Twigs and Sprigs. Does that sound right? Twigs and Sprigs? I don't know. Anyway, and then I was taking the small daisy punch. I'm going to punch that out. And then I am going to take my daisy that I just punched out. I'm going to fold it in half. Not quite half. Almost half. Like this. Just take my little bone folder. And then I'm going to take a glue dot and stick it in here so that it sticks together really well. Okay. Then I'm going to put glue dots on the back of the petals, some of the petals, not all of them. Right there. And if they fold up, it's okay. It might need to be folded up just so that it doesn't show. Okay. Put that one on there and one more. Right there. Okay. Then I'm just going to put it right about, well, I tell you, I think I'll put these on first. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue behind the petals or the leaves. And I'm going to do it about like this. I still want that, whatever that purple is. If anybody knows what that is, let me know. Then I'll stick this one on. And then I'm going to stick these on right here on that one leaf. I wanted these two to show, and I wanted that to show as well. So the way I'll finish it off is I'll use some of the brushed metallic, and I'll use this darker. Let me see. Let me see what it would look like if I put a bigger one in the center and then put little ones on the side. Yeah, it's going to look good. And that has got my third card. And did you see how fast that happened? And it's really pretty. And it's a little bit different. It probably should go down, but I don't know. I just like it like that. And I like that I was able to use a daisy punch and make it look like a different flower. So let me show you the ones that I have already made. And you'll see. Thank you, Carol. Appreciate that. So here's one. I actually got a little bit of ink on it, and I wanted it the way it was. It wouldn't work for me to put it this way, so I just covered it. I did it like that, and then I was like, well, are they sideways, upside down? But you know what? If you did a regular wreath, it would be that way, and I think it looks great. I love the flow of it. So there's that one. There's this one like I did the other one. See, I used the little iridescence on there. This is one I did, but I put a bow at the bottom versus doing the little, whatever you call that thing, the little loop. This one is the petal pink. Now, I did not tie and then like bring it around and then tie it. I wrapped it around and then tied it one independently and stuck it on with a glue dot. This is super simple, not much to it, but you can just see the other ones. This one is using the pale papaya ribbon. Ooh, this one's coming undone. I have to write all these out and send them out today, but I wanted to show you. I think that's about it. Another one that just has a bow. Yeah, so you can see there's lots of different ways to do these. And I just love the way they turned out. So anyway, I appreciate you stopping by. Appreciate you watching and interacting. And if you need to purchase anything, I would be happy for you to do so. And if you do that $35 order, you'll get 2 each of the card kits for these 3 cards. These 3 cards. All that you need to make them, except for the stamp set. All right, thank you so much for joining me. I'll be back next Tuesday at 1, and we'll do this again. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and happy Valentine's Day. Mwah.